All right, I hope this really does not cut my head off when I demonstrate, but I am going to show you guys the single leg calf raise. This exercise people hate, and especially my running clients, they absolutely hate it because they just ain't great at it, and that's okay. Whenever you're performing the single leg calf raise, it is important to take your time with this exercise. Go slow through it. I see a lot of people trying to bounce, and there are some extensive, very light plyos that you can do that incorporate like bouncy motions with the calf. Totally fine, great. For this exercise, it's not what we want. So for this exercise, you're going to go slow because we want to create some length here in this gastroc. Woo! I'm going to fall over. We want to create some length here in this gastroc and then lift up and contract and really work the calf muscle. So when you do this exercise, you can do it one of two ways. Some people like to do it in a bent knee position, which is totally fine. It's just going to light up a little bit more of that soleus. If you want to train more the gastroc, then you're going to have your leg straight, a little bit less knee flexion. You can have a little bit if you want, just so that you feel a little bit more balanced. You can also do this holding on to something like a squat rack. But whenever you set up for this exercise, you're going to work on creating a position where you can get a decent amount of length in this calf, a decent amount of stretch here. So you don't want your foot to be super far on whatever surface you're doing the calf raise on. You want to have really just the ball of your foot on that surface so that you can get a good stretch in the calf and then come up and contract. And when you're doing these, really take your time getting into that stretch position and holding for a second before coming back up into the contraction. Same on the other side. I know sometimes it's hard to see with my other foot in the way, but taking your time, getting a good stretch here, and then coming up and really squeezing. If you do this without holding on to anything, it's going to be more difficult. So I do recommend you hold on to something, whether it's a PVC pipe or a squat rack or a person, whatever, or a wall. Have something that you're using to hold on to. If you want to train the soleus a little bit more, you can do it from a seated knee flexed position. They have seated calf raises, or you can do it at a bent knee position. That also works. When you do this exercise too, I know that I do all of my demos barefoot because I just live barefoot, but truly this exercise is one that you would want to do barefoot or in your socks if you can or have the ability to, just because the shoe essentially adds a little bit more external stability to the movement itself. And whenever you can take off that shoe, it requires a lot more from your calf and ankle than it would if you had a shoe on at that time. So try these out. Be barefoot. You don't have to put them on the internet like me, but give it a whirl. Slow your roll on the calf raises. And if you want to work a little bit more soleus and a little bit less gastroc, go ahead and bend that knee whenever you set up for the exercise.